Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 2 King chapter 5 verses 1 through 27. Naaman was the captain of the king of Syria. He was a valiant man, but he also had leprosy. Now, the king of Syria had gone out to battle against Israel and had captured some of their people. One of the maidens was waiting on Naaman's wife, and she had told her master that there was a man in Israel that could heal her husband of the leprosy. Now, one of the servants had overheard this and went to Naaman and had told him that the maiden had said there was a man in Israel that could heal him of his leprosy. So the king had sent Naaman along with a company and said, "Go and take this letter to the king of Israel." Now he did depart and took with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 pieces of gold, 10 changes of garment. And when the king of Israel had read this letter, he ripped his clothes and said, "Am I God? Do I give life and do I give death? Who am I to try to heal this man of his leprosy? Do you see how they come to seek and fight against me?" Now, when Elijah, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had ripped his clothes, he said, "Go and ask him, why has he ripped his clothes?" And then he said, "Let the man come to me, that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman had came with his chariots and his company and stood at the door of Elijah's house. And Elijah had sent his messenger out to him and told him to go and dip himself 7 times into the Jordan. Now Naaman had walked away and was very angry. He said, "I thought he would at least have came out to me and called upon the name of his God, and he would have stricken the leprosy, and then it would have been recovered. His skin would have been recovered. Now, is there no other river that is better for me to wash myself in than the Jordan?" And he walked away in rage. And then Naaman's servant had said, "But father, if he would have asked you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? So how much more for you to wash yourself and then be cleaned?" Then he went down and dipped himself 7 times into the Jordan, according to the words of the man of God, and his skin was restored as if the skin of a child. Now he returned back to the house of the man of God with him and his company. And he said, "I know now that there is no other God on earth but the one that is in Israel. I pray that you would allow me to bless you." And Elijah said, "No, as the Lord lives that we stand before him, I will take nothing from you." And Naaman had tried to urge him, and he refused. And Naaman said, "Should I not give you at least 2 donkeys to lighten your load?" And then he continued, "I will not offer burnt offering or sacrifices unto any of the gods, but only the Lord. Now I pray that I am pardoned, that when the king goes into the house of the gods to worship them, and he leans on my hand, and I have to bow down before the gods in the place of worship for my king, that I will be forgiven of this thing." Now Elijah had said, "Go in peace." And then after a little while, Elijah's servant had said, "Why did we not bring what he has brought to us? I will run after him and I will take it." And then Elijah's servant had ran after Naaman. And when they saw him coming near, Naaman had stopped the chariot, got out of the chariot, and greeted him. And he said, "Is all well?" And the servant of Elijah had said, "All is well, but my master sent me to get a talent of silver and 2 changes of clothes for the sons of the prophet." And Naaman said, "I will give you 2 talents of silver, and I will give you 2 bagfuls of garments for them to change." Now, his servant had came back to Elijah and stood before him. And Elijah said, "Where have you been?" And the servant said, "I have been nowhere." Elijah said, "Did not my heart go with you when you turned around the man in the chariot? It is not time for us to receive money or garment or olive oils or vineyards, sheep, oxen, manservant, or maidservant. The leprosy that was of Naaman will cling to you and to the children of your fathers forever." And he walked out of the presence of Elijah, and he became as a leprosy, and his skin was as white as snow. May God be with you in everything and every way.